Three of the most emotional moments of last night's speech. The president gave Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, the West Virginia National Guardsman shot in the head in D.C. in November, a Purple Heart. The president also presented two medals of honor, one to Chief Warrant Officer Eric Slover, wounded while leading the heroic raid to capture and arrest Nicolas Maduro, and one to World War II, Korea, and Vietnam vet Royce William. Watch.
There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. Navy fighter pilot Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. At 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Really precious moments there. And in, an earlier block, Tom, when we were sort of joking about retirement plans, those moments just really put it into focus about what this is all about and really praising the heroes of our country and giving them a moment last night.
Yeah. For sure. What about the U.S. gold medal goalie? Yeah. What an incredible job he did and the whole team. And I really love the fact that President Trump acknowledged that the women's gold medalist hockey team will be coming to the White House as well. That was a huge win. I was thinking about it this weekend. I said, us beating Canada, both men's and women's, is kind of like Canada beating us in basketball. I mean, this is just unprecedented what happened over the weekend, and it was nice to see them recognized and so many heroes for this country.
Brian, your thoughts?
I just love, I love both the guys you showed, okay?
Yeah.
Eric Slover in Venezuela. The way President Trump told that story was amazing because this guy was so mission focused. He was getting like 4 shots in the leg and the hip, and he's maneuvering the helicopter so his guys can get a shot. I mean, and there he is standing with his wife, and look at that guy. That is just the best of America. That was such an appropriate thing to do at that speech. But also then, Royce Williams, the 100-year-old Navy fighter pilot, in a machine that was outclassed by the MiGs that the Soviets or the Soviets were using, and he's taken on 7 of them, and he takes out 4 of them, gets blasted and lands the plane successfully. Like the grit and determination. I'm thinking about this in the context of those morons throwing snowballs at police officers in New York City.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we see them on TV and we think America's becoming that. The America that will win is these guys because they are real men and they love this country and they are good at what they do and they fight for what they love.
And Jackie, it's good for young men to see that as well. Young women, of course, but in the last 4 years, we've really beat up young men and told them that they're horrible and they don't need to be masculine and they need to be soft and they need to do all of this stuff. And I think it's really important as we raise a young generation of men to say no, it's cool to be tough again. You can do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think all the stories you all brought up were really impactful that the president told. But one of the ones that touched me was Scott Ruskin. He was the Coast Guard rescue searcher. He had never been out, I believe the president said, on a rescue mission before when that July 4th flood, overtook all those kids at Camp Mystic. Next to him, the 11-year-old little girl, Millie Kate, one of the 165 people that he saved. Incredible heroism, patriotism, so important in the message. And the other 2 that struck me, Anya Zarutska, the mother of Irina, who was killed in North Carolina after her daughter was brutally stabbed on the train by somebody who had a very long rap sheet and just kept getting released to go conduct crimes like this. That was a touching, tearful moment. And also the little girl who was there in the first grade, she was with her parents and they were in a car accident with an illegal migrant who got the commercial truckers or commercial vehicle driver's license, because the Democrats think that you should have that even if you can't speak English or read signs or know how to operate a motor vehicle like that. She is on a feeding tube. She is an amazing testament. They were on this morning to
Delilah?
Yes,
Yeah.
that God has a place for everybody and that her story is not over, but that she's here for a reason. But she, is fighting despite all of these obstacles that have been put in her way. And I just love how the president humanizes America in this way, because there are so many other stories. He recognizes people and he puts them front and center.
Jerry?
I love every story you guys told, and I'm sitting here with chills up my spine, and I watched the speech last night. America is about individual stories. That is what makes this country different, right? We're not one monolithic people, we're individuals, some of whom do incredible things.
We're going to talk about some individual stories in the stock market. Wow. Okay, we're coming full circle. So take a look at this. Warner Brothers comes out and says, actually, Paramount is the front runner. Forget you, Netflix. We actually think we'll do a deal with Paramount. So I'm exaggerating a little bit, but here's what the Warner Brothers board said on Tuesday. The board of directors has decided that Paramount's $31 share bid, quote, could reasonably be expected to lead a proposal that is superior to the deal that it has already agreed to with Netflix. So again, I know we're in the media, we like this stuff, but this has been a horse race, and now it looks like and Netflix is like, all right, fine, maybe we'll get a little breakup fee deal and maybe walk away from all this drama.
Can I comment on this one? I think Charlie was right yesterday that maybe Zaslav wasn't picking favorites, but he was just trying to gin up these bids, and he knew that Paramount would come back to the table. Now that you've got these two competing bids, one includes all the assets and they up their price, I do think that is the better one for the shareholders, because you don't know what happens when you spin off those cable networks later on in time, how they will do. So this is really incredible to see. But Paramount really wants that library, but they want the cable, they want all of it. And it would be disappointing for me to see Zaslav picking because of politics or because he doesn't want to see one particular CEO in more of a position of power. He should not have the power to choose in that way. He needs to pick the best deal for his shareholders.
Polymarket agrees with you. Paramount's now the front runner in the betting odds, and analysts are saying that for Netflix, it's a nice to have, not a need to have. So we'll see.
Right.